What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be hitting a shoulder workout. Today is Thursday, I think. Let me see. Yeah, today's Thursday. It's 2:16, so afternoon. About to go hit a workout. Is he about to take a pee or go to the bathroom in the back of the video? Anyway, about to go hit a shoulder workout. For shoulders, for me, it's very simple. A bunch of side raises. Sometimes I'll throw in like a press, rear delt flies. And I think today for rear delts, one thing I'll switch up is I'm going to do behind the head lat pull downs. I saw a guy doing, or not, I didn't see him doing them, but I saw this dude with like massive rear delts, huge shoulders, like kind of like the shoulders that I want. And I was like, I went up to him the next day as he was training shoulders, and I was like, bro, what do you do for your rear delts? And he explained to me to do those behind the head lat pull downs. So we're going to incorporate those today along with face pulls and rear delt flies. And then, like I said, just absolutely spamming side raises. And sometimes I'll throw a press motion in there. Not really because I think like pressing is like crazy important, but more because doing side raises for, 16 sets can get kind of boring or exhausting. Not exhausting, but like it just gets like very monotonous, I think the term is. So I like to throw those presses in there to like keep the pump going, still like be taking the muscle further or closer to failure or closer to like that fatigue, but kind of taking a break from side raises. But I think side raises and different variations of side raises are like the most important thing that you could be doing for your shoulders. So that's kind of the game plan for today. Something that has been like kind of driving me crazy, or not driving me crazy, but like I've been thinking about is kind of routine that like myself included and young guys get into the habit of just like watching content and watching other people online all the time 24/7. And one of my goals for this year, or goals like in the next couple of months to like better myself as a human, is to try to get away from like just aimlessly listening to content or aimlessly like watching or scrolling, because I think when you do that, you're like just subconsciously like losing track of who you are, like your individuality. And I kind of start to feel that like when I'm not listening to something or when I'm not like watching something on social media, I feel like dull. I feel like there's nothing else outside of that. I don't know if you guys get that same feeling. Maybe drop a comment down below. But I think the goal is to kind of get away from that. Try to still like I want to enjoy things, that can take my mind off of like a busy day, but I don't want it to be social media, because social media is kind of like it's other people's lives. So you kind of lose track of who you are. So when I do want to like take my mind off of stuff, I think I'm going to try to start listening to like music or listening to things that I enjoy. So like music or watching a movie that I enjoy. And in doing that, I think it'll help me find more of myself, more of my individuality, because I'll be watching things that I enjoy and watching or listening to things that I enjoy, and I'll start to find, okay, things that I like, and kind of develop my character more, if that makes sense. And I think that's a good recommendation for you guys as well, if you're trying to try to find yourself, is kind of not really take a break from social media, but try to take a break from listening to other people's opinions, other people's commentary, other people's sort of like just nonsense, I guess you could say. Not that it doesn't matter, but take a break from that. And even as a YouTuber, I'm telling you that don't be listening to me all day. Maybe if you want to listen to me while you're working out or while you're, cooking dinner or something, but to be aimlessly just scrolling and watching this stuff, it just dolls life up. So I hope to be an exception. I hope to change your life and kind of bring light into your life. So we're going to keep sipping on this We got some, did I put I don't know if I put creatine in here, but I put Pump Surge in here. I'll go upstairs and put creatine in it because I need to get creatine in. Otherwise, I'll forget it. But we got Pump Surge, and we'll have creatine in here. We'll sip on that going to the gym. I'm meant to be sipping on it right now. Ooh, you saw that save. That was dope. And then we have this Premier Protein shake. I haven't had caffeine in a couple hours, clearly. So, I think, okay, we'll kill two birds with one stone. We'll have some coffee, and also get some protein in at the same time. So, boom, 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 boom. Stop watching so much social media, and do things that you listen and watch things that you enjoy, so that you can kind of find who you are. Right? If you like listening to vintage music, do that instead of just listening to Greg Doucette ramble. Not saying Greg Doucette's bad, but do that instead of like listening to Greg Doucette ramble on about something, or instead of listening to someone else ramble on about something. Listen to music you like, and watch a movie you enjoy, because it's going to help you become the person you want to become and enjoy the things you enjoy. Another thing is, it's never like a bad thing to be quiet, right? I think even though like your thoughts may be crazy, or your thoughts may be tough to deal with, maybe you're hard on yourself mentally, but I think a lot of character development comes from sitting in your thoughts, thinking about your life, thinking about things. And the more you do that, right, it becomes less hectic when you stop involving social media or the internet. When you're doing both, right, like you're always on your phone, always doing this stuff, and then you start kind of just like, and then you have those times where you just try to shut things off and like be quiet, then your brain will start going. But once you get used to not having that like stimuli, I think you'll really like be able to sit in silence and reflect on who you are, become individualized, and find like what you are here for, if that makes sense. So let's go ahead and get into the gym. We're going to start with rear delts. Little black bear. Yes. Oh. House. Give me that. Give me that. So I was thinking about that topic we were talking about a second ago a little more. And I think a good analogy for it is kind of like when you put music on in the gym, and it's like, it's a good song, or it gets you hyped, but it's just like nonsense, or it's like just like too crazy for you to focus. Like, let's say you're doing a crazy set of squats, which you really need to focus on, and you need to like think about the mind to muscle, but the music's too crazy. It's kind of like distracting. So you're still doing the sets, right? You're still doing the motion, you're going through the motion, but you're not getting the same results, and you're not getting the same like sort of connection with yourself as you would if you were just quiet or had something less distracting on. You're really able to think about, okay, what you're trying to target. That kind of like correlates to like what I was saying, like when you're just listening to like nonsense, or listening to other people all day and not really like in your own thoughts or connected with yourself, you kind of walk away with, maybe you were doing the same thing, but you didn't really, you're not coming out like better on the other side, I guess you could say. I'm not saying you're not getting better, but you're not necessarily getting the same results, and the process looks a little bit different. Hopefully that makes sense, but enough of that nonsense. Let's go ahead and get into the gym. We just pulled up here. All right, so I just wrote out the game plan for the workout. So we're going to start out with 6 sets of face pulls. Now, I said I was going to do this behind the head lat pull downs, but I'd like, because I'm trying them kind of like for the first time. I've done them before, but kind of like reintroducing them. I want to kind of have a rear delt pump already. So we're going to start with face pulls to get like the rear delts kind of pumped and activated, pre-fatigue them. And then we'll go into the 6 sets of behind the head pulls, or behind the head lat pull downs. And we have back tomorrow, so I'll probably do a little more rear delts tomorrow. So 6 sets, of each of those. So that's 12 sets total, and then we'll do a couple more sets tomorrow. I'm trying to get around like 16 to 20 sets for the areas or muscles that I'm trying to like emphasize. So chest, shoulders, and like rear delts, I've been trying to get like that 16 to 20 set range a week. After that, we're going to move on to 8 sets of side raises, probably with like just dumbbells, and then shoulder press to kind of take a break, and then come back to either dumbbell side raises or maybe we'll do some kind of cable for a couple sets, but we're going to do 8 more sets of some variation of side raises after that. So that's kind of the game plan. And I always write instead of writing in a note, I always go to my girl or my fiance and I's text, and I just text it to her. I don't know why. Sometimes I send it, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just like leave it in the box. But I always type out my workouts like that. I don't know. I'm goofy. Podcasting? Think again. More Americans listen to podcasts than ad-supported streaming music from Spotify and Pandora. And as the #1 podcaster, iHeart's twice as large as the next 2 combined. So whatever your customers listen to, they'll hear your name. That's iHeartAdvertising.com. All right, face pulls. So face pulls were another thing that guy was doing. He was actually doing exactly these. These are actually nice, and laying down are nice as well because you don't have to like balance or keep your core tight. You can kind of just sit down or lay down and just focus on the squeeze itself. So on these, I'm just focusing on leaning back, still keeping the like rope out in front of me, because if you go too high up, it's more like a kind of what we're gonna do. It's gonna be like a pull down of some kind. So keeping the rope more up in front of me, but having a seat or laying down on a bench allows you to focus on just the rear delts themselves. And I'm thinking about pulling back with the backs of my arms, so the back of my triceps, or just my triceps, pulling back like that. Really, almost like if you're getting ready to do like a rear double bicep, that first tuck where you go like this. That's kind of like what I'm trying to think about doing, like tucking those rear delts down and back. They got a little shaggy on. I like that. All right, so starting on those face pulls was actually a really good idea, because now these I really don't have to like really think about it. The rear delt's already pumped, so I know how it should feel doing these, and it feels really good. I think if I were to go straight into this, it'd be a little difficult because I feel like I could kind of run into like using too much lat or like upper back. Instead, because the rear delt's already pumped, I'm able to just like be like mind the muscles a little bit better. I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was. The hologram trading card. One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like this. Designer handbag of my dreams. Possible disease. Are you 50 or older like me? The CDC now recommends vaccination against pneumococcal disease. Okay, so moving on to side raises on these. The last couple weeks I've been trying to go up in weight, but I realized, I typically go up in weight and then I end up dropping back down because it doesn't feel right, or I'm starting to like hurt up in my traps or inside my shoulders. So I was like, I've come to the conclusion that shoulders, especially side raises, progress really slow. You're not really going to see too much progress as compared to like on bench. You can jump 10, 15 pounds on bench, but for side raises, that jump is really gradual and it takes a lot of time. So instead of pushing it, I'm going to hold myself accountable and try to stay under 20 pounds for, probably the next couple months until the end of the bulk, and see how how good my shoulders grow, how they feel overall, like the consistency and quality of the pumps. Because I think with me trying to ego lift and trying to do heavier weight, I've just been like hindering my progress and wasting reps when I could be going a little lighter, focusing on getting a crazy burn. Because I can go up to, probably 55s or 60s and do what you could consider a strict side raise, but I'm not really feeling it in my shoulders. I'm feeling it more in my traps, more in my upper back. So I really need to dial it back and try to focus more on just absolutely burning those shoulders. All right, so those sets feel good. Not the greatest though, so I'm gonna go down even more. You might notice between my sets, I'm also doing somewhat of like an iso hold, you could say, for like shoulders. So I'm just basically flexing. I got this idea from C-Bum's, his trainer, I forget his coach's name, but he'll often have C-Bum and his other athletes hold a pose for whatever muscle group they're doing. So like if they're doing an arm workout, they'll hold a double bicep and really squeeze that muscle. One, to get better at posing, but two, to also fatigue that muscle even more. So sometimes I'll go like this, or I'll grab my sides and flex my side delts as hard as I can for 10 to 15 seconds. And I don't want to pass out or anything, but it just helps bring more blood there, helps the fatigue out a little quicker. All right, so I was gonna do dumbbell press, and I probably should get used to doing dumbbell press every shoulder workout so I can just stick with that and get consistent with that. But I kind of like started experimenting with this machine, and it feels good when you lay on your back, except it's a little far behind my head. So I figured, I'm gonna flip around, see how that feels, and it feels really good. So it's more about like in front of me, almost like a barbell press. So this feels really good, but after today, we should probably just start drilling dumbbell. Put a belt on, go on an incline bench and drill dumbbell incline or dumbbell shoulder press, but these feel good for today. What I like about this is I don't have to wear a belt, or when you have your back against something, you'll tend to like kind of arch. With this, with my stomach on it, I'm not arching at all because that weight's pressing down into my stomach. I'm not like, it's not like back here, So it's more in front of me. I'm laying on the bench. I'm able to like actually get a lot of drive out of it. All right, we're gonna dig out a little toy I got in here. That sounds weird, but little band. I always forget about using the band, and using the band in between your sets or as a drop set, or like I said, a superset is insane because you're going back and forth from different tensions. So you're going from like, where that's like super hard at the top, this is more of like a consistent pull. right, so I'm actually stepping on this band, but then I'm also crossing it. So that tension's not just pulling down, it's pulling down and across. Whereas like with those dumbbells, you probably can't see my face right now, but with those dumbbells, you know, it just pulls down. Whereas this band pulls down at the top, but when you get down here, it's pulling across. So it's almost like a hybrid between a dumbbell and cable.
Yeah, but sometimes not everybody has family that's in a situation where they can. But yes, sometimes we do need a little help. Thank you for sharing that, and I hope that everything has worked out for you. Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it. Too much hassle. You should try the Metamucil 2-week challenge. The Metamucil 2-week challenge? Yeah, Metamucil 4-1 fiber helps remove the waste that weighs you down. Start your daily routine.
All right, that's gonna conclude the workout. We'll go ahead and pose down real quick and then wrap everything up. I'm gonna go ahead and turn that mic off on the camera because it's acting like it's gonna die, so I'll turn that off while we're posing. All right, you guys, that's gonna wrap up today's workout. Nothing really crazy, right? Just murder shoulders. Pick the simple things and do them over and over and over again. So without further ado, remember to love God, lift weights, and live life. We'll see you next time. Boom.